Welcome back to the Iron Insight. Thank you for starting your week off right with the Iron Insight every Monday morning at 4 a.m. I'm Bryn Welds, and today we're joined by Harrison Stone. How's it going?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Pretty good. So, you're from South Carolina, right?
Yep, South
Yeah.
Carolina.
And when did you start welding?
Say about 3, 4 years ago, somewhere in there, I started at Tri-County Technical College and just fell in love with it.
Really? And you work solo now, right? For yourself?
Yep, right now I'm all by myself. I've got my years of experience, working for a company near me and everything, and I just wanted to branch out and try it on my own. I'm young, don't have kids, not married yet. I said, if I'm going to try it, I'm going to try it now. So that's what the game plan is, and we're going to see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, I'll get another job, but hopefully it does.
How long have you been solo now?
Probably about a year now. And to be honest with you, the hardest part about it is getting more jobs. It's not doing the job correctly and knocking it out. It's getting the jobs. And word of mouth, it spreads, but man, it's hard to get word of mouth to spread. You can't force people to talk about you. So getting your cards out and getting people to look you up and request your services is really hard to find.
And you work out of your home shop, right?
Yep. I got so it was my papa's old shop. He passed away, and I just kind of basically, it used to be a wood shop. He did a lot of woodworking and all that, and I turned it into a metal shop, bought all the tools and everything that I need to work with metal, and converted that. Then I bought a truck, F350, 1989, 10-foot bed, and I'm converting that into the mobile truck. It's been doing jobs here and there, but it breaks down a good bit, and it's eating into the pocket and into the profits and everything like that. So in the future, I'll be upgrading, but right now that's what I got.
Yeah. I saw you did a job out of your Forerunner, I think.
Yeah, yep. Done a job out of multiple jobs actually. We got a request to go weld in somebody's house. They said they had a cast iron bed frame, and it was too heavy to take apart. And I went in the house and TIG welded it. It wasn't cast iron. I guess she thought it was. It was just a Allen head screwed together, putting it together. It had like I guess a textured paint on it or something. Yeah, I'll share that story. It's kind of a tricky one. It's nothing against vets or anything like that, but it was a veteran that had been in war in the room right beside us, and so I'm trying to grind this bed frame and be quiet and welding in there with a big old argon tank, toting it upstairs. It was upstairs. We had to tote all our tools up there and be quiet so we don't upset him, because he was in war, and it takes one loud noise and he's gonna be freaking out. So that was really hard not to do that, and it was like you walking on eggshells the entire time, whispering and welding the bed. So it's tricky, man. There's some funny jobs you get yourself into, but yeah, starting out, most of that was all in the Forerunner.
And you got it bogged out, right?
Yeah.
I scrolled back and I saw what you said you were looking for the mall but took a wrong turn.
Yeah, I've got it stuck a couple times. I got it in about above the fender in a river one time, and water coming inside. You get out of the river crossing, you open up your door, and just water's gushing out, and it's a soccer mom SUV, and I turned it into a mud bogger, and yeah, I've dumped some money in that. I've got a Land Cruiser, 1989 or no 1991 Land Cruiser. Dumped some money in that. I got a problem with cars, man. If it's a piece of crap, I'm gonna buy it. I love it.
What's the kind of typical job that you get called for working for yourself?
There's a lot of trailer repair. A lot of trailer repair. Putting mesh and stuff like that on the gates and on the sides, trailer jacks, lawnmower repair. I've had a lot of cracked lawnmower frames come in and have to repair that, and that can be tricky because the sleeve on the frame, you can't buy that sleeve. So if you have a certain mower and that sleeve's bent, you've got to custom make that, and that's got it's got the piece where the bearing slides in and everything. It's hard to do. So really, the only way to do that correctly is to go to a scrapyard or something like that and buy one and cut the two front of them off and use those, because I tried buying one from Skag thinking it was the right part. It was not the right part, and then that thing was $170. And I mean, it's this big, and it was stupid, man. It was the wrong thing. Has to be sent back. Customer, it's not happy. They don't want to be waiting on this. So it's a lot of custom things. So even the one that I cut off at the junkyard, I had to shorten it and TIG weld it and make sure it was flush on the inside so the bearing wasn't spinning and hitting in there and everything. It was a pain, man, and that dude, he was going to have to buy a brand new frame from Skag, and it was $5,000. He ended up leaving my shop at $1,500, but it was brand new, just about. And if something happens, they bring it back and I fix it. But it was either $5,000 or $1,500, and he had two guys weld it before me, and they boogered it up so bad that it was. I mean, I literally had to cut probably a quarter of the whole frame just to get it where it was supposed to be, because he boogered it up.
What was your first job in the welding industry?
First job, like as in an actual job or for myself?
Yeah.
Okay, so my actual job, I did basically big power supplies. So imagine 1/4-inch thick bar, and it was aluminum or copper, and we're running like 3,000, 4,000 amps through it. And basically it's just a flat weld on the bar side of things. It's a flat weld, and it's in an elbow, and it's got different little notches on it, and that's what hooks up the grid and everything. That was military work. That was Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Google, all the name brand big ones. Even when COVID hit, we were still working, because that was a whatever you call it. I don't remember what the name was, but that was a job that had to keep going, and that's what we did. I think the last thing I did before I left there was weld some copper for Boeing, some parts that went to Boeing. And then on the outside of that bar, you had housing, and that kind of encased the bar and kept it safe and in one piece. And basically, it's just big versions of wires is what it was. But, every now and then it was a plant, so if something went down, of course, the welders go out there and they fix it. And I think we had like 4 or 5 welders at the time. I left, and I think they've got like 8 now, 8 or 9. And their production was ramping up when I was leaving. Pay was staying the same. I said, I'm heading out of here. Because dude, I mean, I've been begging for a 90-day evaluation. I got it at my year mark, and it was definitely not what I wanted. And then they didn't give me the year evaluation on that either. And they called me and asked if I wanted to come back for $9 extra an hour, and I said no, just no. Not,
Really?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a good experience. I mean, I learned a ton. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as a first welding job, I'm sure y'all know. I mean that's where you really learn everything. The school, you learn how to turn on the machine, but that first job, you learn everything. And I had some of the best welders ever teaching me everything. And basically, I've got a lot of experience in aluminum and copper. And copper was at 450 amps, 50 argon, 50 helium, and it was TIG welded. And it was hot. It was wild.
Yeah, I saw you've sent some copper before in the Edge Army group chat.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to weld.
It's something, man. It's completely different. I mean, it looks good, and then all of a sudden it just blows a hole the size of a quarter right through the bar, and you got to patch that and then grind it all out. It's a pain, man. It is either the best welding thing you ever welded or the worst. And if it has any oxygen in it, you can go ahead and forget it. I mean, you're not going to be able to weld it. It has to be oxygen free, and you got to pump some gas to get that stuff. And I mean, it's so hot that it's crazy. I mean, you had to put a piece of wood on it and everything. I mean, I almost brought my arm pad in there just to weld the thing, because it's such a good, it absorbs so much heat that it boils, man. It gets super hot.
What kind of welders do you run at home for yourself?
So I've got a Miller Multimatic 220, and it's great. I think it ran me like 4,500 or something like that when I bought it, and it comes with the foot pedal, and it's AC/DC TIG stick MIG. I love it. It does a good job. I say that one of the coolest things about it is that, I don't know if Everlast has this. I know you guys have a lot of Everlast, but you can MIG something or you could TIG something without switching any of the dials or anything. So if I want to tack with TIG, just hit it with the TIG torch and then switch to MIG or something like that. But the machine that I've really been using a lot here recently is Prime Weld. They sent me out, I think it's their MIG 280, and I've been using the crap out of that thing, dude. It's just throw it in the truck and go.
Yeah, I saw your post with it. I've never ran one personally. I wish they had a booth at FabTech because I do want to try it, but I also don't know anybody with one.
I think it's like $1,000. The one I have, $1,000 for what I have, and the only thing that it doesn't do is cellulose rods. It will run a 6011, but it's kind of painful. It just wants to die out. Maybe, if you're not shoving that rod in there, it's going to die. The puddle's very particular on the 6011. It's not cellulose machine. So, and that's weird, man. I didn't think you'd have to have a different setting to run cellulose until I got to the job site and I'm trying to run a 6010 and this thing won't arc off. I'm like, what's going on here? I look up the specifications and it's like, no, non-cellulose rods. I'm like, my God almighty. I just bought 50 pounds of 6010s and that's all. Thinking that I'd be able to run it, and then I had to go get some 6011s, and they run better, but like I said, it's still finicky, and it'll bust out on you and quit running. You gotta hit it again, keep going with it. But
it's
on the truck, I've got a Lincoln 305D, and it's a unit.
It's the same way with a lot of Everlast machines not running cellulose rods.
See, I had no idea that was even.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that would have been an issue.
Yeah.
Andrew, actually, for yours, I don't think yours runs cellulose rods.
Shit, I just thought I was a bad welder.
Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I was like, what is going on? No, I'm doing something wrong if this thing's not running. But no, it is definitely that.
Yeah, it's So you have a lot of sponsors, right? Or you're a brand ambassador for a lot of companies. And if you had a welding company out of Prime Weld, Miller, Everlast, Lincoln, ESOP, whoever you want, who would you choose?
So I already work with Prime Weld, and they're great to me. Miller and Lincoln have posted me in the past and stuff like that, but they've never done anything serious. Lincoln sent me some shirts and hats and stuff like that. But if Prime Weld's out of the situation and you're not caring about money, I'm gonna say Miller in the shop. And if I didn't get the 305D at a good deal, I was gonna go with the Lincoln 330 MPX for the truck. That's a small machine. It's a powerhouse from everything I've read on it. But most of the Lincoln machines that I've ran in shop, at least the ones I've ran in school and the place I used to work at, they weren't good. The Miller, I had a Dynasty 800 water cooled, and it did fantastic. We had, I think, 5 or 6 of them. They did great. But the Lincoln MIG that I would run over there occasionally, it didn't hold up. And I'm pretty sure that was the same exact one at the school that I was at, and it didn't hold up either.
Yeah, I saw Lincoln sent you some swag for the gingerbread house video.
Yep.
What was your initial reaction when they messaged you about it?
Well, they messaged me and asked if they wanted if they could post it. And I was like, yeah, whatever, post it. And Blue Demon, Weld Porn, they all posted it. And dude, Chinese brands have been posting it ever since the first one, because that was the second one, and the first one's the one that really went viral. That was 30 mil view and then 5 mil likes. It was on my girlfriend's page, so of course I didn't get crap from it. And it was on TikTok, and she was scared to put her information and all that. And then we found out that if it's not like a minute or over, you're not gonna make anything on it. So I was like, That is stupid. And I didn't want to do back to back every single year, repeating that because you're going to jinx yourself. So I waited. I think it was 2 years. Made another one, and it was way better than the first one. It did well, but it still didn't top the first one. But this Christmas I got something that I got an idea for.
This guy's making a gingerbread house out of real metal.
How'd you know
like
it, dude?
that.
How'd you know it?
Something like that.
It's gonna be stainless. It's gonna be stainless.
What about the? So, what was kind of the thought process behind the SWAS video with the Blue Demon aluminum welding rods, where your buddy has him in his ass crack?
That guy is the goofiest guy I know, and I worked with him at the place I first started off working at, and he's one of the ones that taught me just about everything. And he is just goofy as crap, dude. I mean, that video is him 24/7. That's not just that video. The comments is probably the funniest thing that happened there. But when we were filming that, I'm just hoping to God my grandma doesn't come outside, because I'm at her house in the shop. Like, if she comes outside and sees him just about naked, rod sticking out his ass, it's not going to be funny to her. And I didn't think it'd go viral. I mean, I thought it was funny and all, but I didn't think it would, circulate in the welding everything. But it did. It did really well. Those Blue Demon rods, I don't know if you've ever ran any of those, the aluminum stick rods. Have y'all ever ran any?
No,
I have.
Blue Demon.
They're pretty tricky, man. It's weird. It needs to be like 50 amps for that rod, and I think that was 1/8 inch or something like that. And you just got to shove. I mean,
Shove it in there. Yep.
You think you're shoving, you ain't shoving enough. Keep shoving, and it'll run. I mean, if in a pinch, it would do it. It would definitely hold it. I want to do a bend test and try them out, but you better keep them nice and clean and everything. I left them in my tool bag, and I mean, they just got ruined. So it's just aluminum flux, It's like a kind of a non-durable flux on there that just comes off. So it's a little tricky to run them, but in a pinch, it'd do it.
Have you ran any other aluminum stick brands?
Nope,
They're all pretty like that.
Yeah. No, I haven't ran any.
When I was 16, I went down to Ocean Corporation in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, dude, I want to do that.
And welded underwater. And they were like, once all of us got out and we were done, they were like, yeah, next time you guys come down, let's try aluminum stick. And I'm like, let's not. Like, I'm not good with this steel. Like, why are we going to aluminum?
Yeah.
It was, it's fun, though. It's an interesting experience, like, once in a lifetime, but...
So how do you go about doing that? Do you just, contact the dude? I know the dude, I see him on Instagram all the time. You just contact him and go down there? Or?
So, at the time, I had a group called the Surgeons of Steel, and okay. It was pretty much just like 5 young welders. It was me, Carp Welding, Jam the Welder, that female welding teacher, and Willie Obar. And now none of them really post besides me and Carp. And that was kind of why it all ended. But he reached out. He was like, hey, do y'all want to come shoot some videos here at the Ocean Corporation? We were like, yeah. 3 of us were in high school at the time. And so everybody had to fly down with their parents, besides that female welding teacher and Jam the Welder. And we did it. And my dad had been in the industry since he was 18. So... I was like, yo, you got to go down there, dude. This is once in a lifetime. Are you not going to dive and weld? Yeah. And he's like, I never really thought about it. I haven't really seen him swim that much. I've seen him, like, get in the water, and he's like, I'm not a good swimmer. I'm not doing this. Because you're in a tank. When you weld, it's like 9 feet deep. No, it's probably a little deeper. But then they had us go into this 40-foot deep one to see if you could get to the bottom, because it was so much pressure on your ears. Like, they wanted you to... There was, like, this huge pipe assembly, like a tree almost in the middle of it. So you were supposed to hold on to that and stop and then go down a little bit, just because like a real commercial diver could have done that no problem, but because we're not used to it. Yeah. So it was a lot of pressure, but it was so much fun.
So, how I'm sure he told you more about it when you were down there. How true is the life expectancy of a underwater welder? Because there's a lot of stuff on Google, and they also say they make a killing. But then I watched one of his videos, and he said it's a commercial diver, basically a construction worker underwater. He's not just a welder, and it's like $50,000. I mean, how is that correct?
So what he says, I don't know. I would take this with a grain of salt because, like, he's a third-generation diver, Richard Johnston at the Ocean Corporation, and he says it doesn't affect your life expectancy at all. I'd probably say there's a little bit of lie in that because, I mean, as soon as you strike that arc, or you got to tell them because you got, like, communication lines in the, I don't know, like the helmet, and you say make it hot, so they make your line hot, then you can weld, and you got to scratch off the wax on the tip of it, and then you can go. And as soon as they make it hot, you're getting shocked. Like, it's not crazy, but it's like a constant shock pen throughout your body. So it's not horrible, but it's enough to make you a little bit tense.
Is that coming through the glove, or is that just in the water? I mean, how's it shocking you?
So the glove is because your metal doesn't get hot. So
it's quenched as soon as you weld it.
Yeah, the glove is like a dishwashing glove for a dishwasher at a restaurant or something. It's like the rubber, and it's so loose that water just gets in it, so the electricity flows through the water, and it'll hit you anywhere.
God, dude, what?
It's not a ton of shock. Like, it's totally bearable, but it can't be good for your heart. And Richard Johnston has had 3 heart attacks. He had one right after we left. So he says it's from the Marine Corps.
We might be on to something with that one. We might be on to something with that one. It says like they die around like 35 or something like that.
Richard's definitely older than that, but another thing about the pay and everything, he kind of explained it to us like it was union. So first you'd start off as an apprentice, right? When you're a diver, you start off as tender 1, so you're the guy up there. It could be like holding all the cords so you don't get wrapped up, or on the communication line, or the guy making your lead hot. There's one person for all that, and or it could be like, so you'll work up from tender 1, tender 2, tender 3, and I don't know everything about this, so I could be wrong on certain things. Yeah. But
you're not wrong. You're not wrong about getting shocked real bad, though.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that part.
But so like tender 1, tender 2, tender 3, and then diver 1, diver 2, and then diver 3, and it could be anything. He told us they had a specific tank just for rigging, tying knots, and all kinds of stuff like that. So he said that's a large part of it is just rigging stuff up. Or he said the most typical job would be welding an eyelet on the bottom of something, or something that they can't pick up without it, take it out of the water. So,
how often does the welder or the diver actually weld, though? Because, I mean, most of the time they say it's not really just welding.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said it's not as much welding. It's more he said it's more inspecting. Like, go down there, and you'll have a camera, and there will be somebody up top looking while you're looking down there and inspecting something.
So is that it can't be an auto shade, right? It's got to be a fixed shade that you flip down.
I want to say ours was an auto shade. It's weird because, like, in that video you just did with the Tefua helmet, that flip-up lens is like the same exact flip-up box. So but the problem is, like, I forgot. I welded without the dang lens, dude, because you can't see anything regardless. As soon as you strike
the lens?
Yeah, all of us did it at one point, because as soon as you strike the arc, you just see nothing. It's all bubbles going everywhere, so you can't even see your arc. It's just jam it in there and go off a field. Make sure you're hitting both plates.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Carp had some nice beads though. Carp Welding from Detroit.
How's his eyesight now, though?
What's that?
How's his eyesight now, though?
I don't know. He doesn't have glasses. I got glasses.
He ran a couple more beads.
I've never had arc flash actually.
I had it one time. It wasn't horrible, but I did get it one time welding aluminum. How many amps are they running when they're in the water?
I don't remember. I wish I did, but
I mean, dude, it'd have to be a good bit.
yeah, it was after we left Ocean Corporation, it was a nightmare. We flew from Houston. This
What,
is
what
like
about the trip was good? Let's go.
no,
with
the
that.
trip. First off, they picked us up. You know, like I can't remember the name of this specific TV show, but it's one where like it's like a car remodel or renovation show.
Hit my ride.
It's something like that, and the Ocean
Put a
Corporation.
fish tank in your old trunk.
And so the Ocean Corporation has this huge, like I don't know what kind of truck it was. I have a picture in it, and it's just huge, and it's got the Ocean Corporation big blasted on the side, and it was remodeled on a TV show, and they picked all of us up in that, and I don't know what road it was. It was like a freaking 6-lane highway in Houston, and we're just like just fucking going, dude. Like it's like when you're in a school bus or something like that, and all the cars are so small next to you.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at you. That was cool. The food was great. I love it. I love Texas, dude. I'd live there if I wanted to move, but
You don't want to be shocked no more, man. I'd say you stay.
I get shocked pretty often. Sometimes I'll do it on purpose if I'm feeling tired.
So where I used
Red
to
Bull ain't
work,
got shit on me.
where I used to work, we'd stick like a stainless filler in the end of the cup, and it was like I want to say like a size 5 or 6 cup, something like that. And as long as you're not touching the table that it's grounded on, and you press that foot pedal on AC, that thing it's like a lightning rod. And we would just, I mean, there was 3 of them side by side, so we would just sting the shit out of each other all day long. And, you know, that was a plant, and people are cutting our parts and everything, and literally all we did was weld. Each of us had our own grinder and everything. They brought the parts in, we'd weld it, and if somebody brought it in and we didn't know who it was, we would, you know, light the table up. And there's this big ass table, like maybe like a 8 by 14 foot table. I mean, it's huge.
Dang.
And people would walk in, they'd put the bar down, they'd be holding like probably 100 pounds of aluminum or copper, whatever they were holding. And we just light that table up, and as soon as they touch that shit on that table, I mean, it just lights them up. Lights them. Yeah, I mean, we would literally be like jousting with that stuff back there. I mean, it's fun. Y'all
That ain't workplace harassment at all.
Yeah. Well, so there's a transformer on the other side of that table, and I was touching the table, and I had a stick because they were lighting it up. So if you were touching the table and they weren't, and you touched them, you'd light them up. But if y'all were both touching the table and I was touching you and I took my hand off, I'd light you up because the current is lighting him up. So basically I'm like the negative now. So it was just like back and forth, just screwing with each other right there. And I mean, you couldn't win.
Y'all did a lot of this stuff if you got down to the
We
side.
did it all the time.
All right, hang on. You hold on to this, and I'm going to touch you, and then I'm going to touch this, and we're going to see what happens.
But that transformer, dude, I was trying to light somebody up when they came in that door. And that rod touched that transformer, and I guess it was grounded off somewhere in there. Dude, it lit me up. I mean, lit me up. I was like, okay, I'm done doing this. Because, I mean, I felt that one. That one got me good. That one got me real good.
So you're born and raised in South Carolina?
Yep, sure am.
How far from where Edge is in North Carolina?
I haven't researched it, to be honest with you. I didn't know they were even in North Carolina, to be honest with you, man. I thought they were somewhere else.
Yeah, they're opening up their storefront July 15th.
I might look and see. Damn, I'm gonna be at the beach though. I'm gonna be at the beach from the 12th through the 19th, or else I would go up there. Yeah, dude, I had no idea. I thought they were up somewhere else. I had no idea they were in North Carolina.
Yeah, it sucks because I'm flying through Charlotte on the 13th, but I can't stay. I'm going from Charlotte to the Virgin Islands.
Oh wow, are you doing the FabTech this year?
Yeah, me and Andrew, we're going every.
How about you, Harrison? Are you gonna be going FabTech?
Yeah.
They're wanting me to go, so I might be going, man.
You better be there, man. It's a good time.
Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for me to be there. Right?
Yeah,
it's look at some welding stuff, and then we go and partying. That's why I'm coming.
It's fun, dude.
The Hard Rock thing, that's where I'm going, dude.
Yep. Oh, it's a good time, man.
Every year they do the Hard Rock. It wasn't. It was a lot of fun in Atlanta. It was so packed in there.
Dude, I was supposed to. I don't know if y'all are familiar with O2 Armor. They were supposed to have me at that booth at Atlanta, and I was gonna go. Had work off and everything, and I caught the flu. I was so sick, I couldn't. I mean, I was throwing up in bed. I was like, I can't do this, but I wanted to go to that so bad, dude. I was gonna drive. I mean, I might be like 4 hours from Atlanta, where I'm at.
Yeah.
So it was like a perfect scenario, and I missed it.
Andrew drove me. Well, I flew into Atlanta, and then he drove. And then when it was time to leave, Andrew drove home into a hurricane.
Yeah, it was storming and hooting and hollering. It was a great time. But it's only like 4.5 hours, so it wasn't terrible.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah.
Still 4 hours from Florida?
Yep.
That's cool.
You didn't get shocked, though, did you?
Nope, I didn't get shocked. Dude, I'll talk about getting shocked. We're hanging out at the neighbor's pole barn, drinking beers or whatever, sitting there, and a storm rolls in, and it starts thundering and lightning. Like, wow, that's a pretty good storm. And then the house is right across the street. Here, the lightning bolt hit, and my neighbor, Mr. Doug, looked at me. He said, "Oh, that definitely hit y'all's property." I was like, "Well, yeah, I just don't know what it would have hit." I drive back over there. I don't see no trees down or nothing. 2 days later, I'm down at the barn. I look up at the house, and the damn chimney has cement blocks blown off.
Oh my God.
Lightning hit the damn chimney and blew cinder blocks off the chimney. Of course, it's only the only fireplace probably left in Florida because we're weird like that. But the chimney was freaking blown to smoke. So it was crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy. What makes it think, man, I want that brick chimney?
I want that brick chimney right there. That's what I want.
What's it thinking, dude? What's it thinking?
What are you looking for at FabTech? What are you expecting to experience?
I have no idea. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking about experiencing is Hard Rock. That's the only thing I'm ready for. I mean, everybody talks about it. This party, man, sounds fun.
The food is killer. Everybody goes. It's a good time. And this is Edge's first year being a part of the sponsorship team for it.
I thought they'd been before.
Oh, they've definitely been before. Like, their first time was in Atlanta 2 years ago, but that's their first time sponsoring the Hard Rock after party.
Okay.
But there's a couple deals like that. Normally at the show, there's like happy hours. Some booths will be serving beer and stuff just to get you in their booth. But like the AWS does the Arcs and Ales, hosted by Jason Becker and Stephanie Hoffman, where they'll choose like a local brewery to wherever it's at, and everybody will go there. That's usually the best food. Like, oh man, yeah, in Atlanta, whatever brewery that was, I can't remember the name, but that food was good.
I'd say meeting people would be another big thing because, I mean, I'm sure the amount of connections, because you see all these people online and, you never met them. You're not going to meet them. And this is the time to do it. So I'll probably be talking the entire time.
It's hard because, like, you think you will recognize them in person, then they'll come up to you, start a conversation with you, and you're like, let me turn over your badge. What is your name?
Yeah, who is this?
I'm so bad about that. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, oh, we've been following each other for years. I'm like, okay, I guess I do know who you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
now that you mention it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
but
embarrassing, and I feel bad. It's like I don't mean any disrespect. It's just I got to put a face to the name real quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
And all the welders, like, it's like they give us a corner. They want us to stay in that corner.
They don't like us roaming around too much.
Yeah, because like it's a lot of suits there. People from all over the world. I mean, have you heard of Trump? Like press brakes, lasers. It's a massive company, but they have like certain stations for somebody that speaks like different languages. Like there's a guy from Germany over here, like
Wow.
just for it.
Wow.
It's insane. You need to wear comfortable shoes.
Yeah, wear shoes, tennis shoes for sure.
Man, I hate tennis shoes though.
I know, but I wore boots, and man,
Oh yeah,
whooped my ass.
I wore my Brunt boots this past year in Chicago, and they were pretty nice. I don't wear those ones to work though. Those are my just casual Brunt boots, and I wore those.
Lemon pepper steppers, right?
And
I'm wearing Brunt pants right now, and I mean nothing against Brunt, but their pants are not 100% cotton, and I found that out the hard way. I got a huge hole right here in my leg, so in case anybody's wondering, they do catch on fire.
I've only tried their boots. I got the Marin toes, I think is what they call them. I don't know.
I think I got the Boldics or something like that. I don't know where they're at, but I got them somewhere in here. The Boldics.
It's a funny story how they named them. The owner, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but all of his buddies that work in the industry designed their own what they would want for a boot, and then
Wow.
it's their last name, like Marin. The Marin
That's
is
cool.
yeah, stuff like that.
My buddy wouldn't name his a freaking turd after me, so I mean that's pretty cool.
I'm thinking about getting new boots. I really like my Timberland Pros,
Yeah.
but because of the soles, and then one time, man, this happened all the time. I got big calves, right? And in the winter, it's like it shrinks up or something. I could not pull the boot off. It was suctioned on to my foot. So I just took my parents' hedge trimmers and I just cut them. I just cut the sides all the way down. So now they're like moccasins, steel toes.
Moccasin.
Y'all seen that, haven't you? Where they cut it out on around the bottom and everything.
Yeah.
I got some old square toes. I'm gonna do that too.
I didn't have a choice. I could not get my foot out, dude. I'm seriously
had a buddy
like
just like
swinging my leg all around.
Harrison, whenever you're on the job, what kind of hand tools are you running? Are you a red guy? Are you a yellow guy? What are you?
So I'm free guy, and right now rigid.
Hang on. He just said I'm a free guy, and I can appreciate that.
So rigid is sending. I've been working with them. They send me products, and then Flex has sent me products, and I use those. But DeWalt, I'm running a DeWalt. I've got. I'm not sure the exact name, but I think it's like close to $300, and it's the adjustable 5-speed. That thing, I ran that at my old job, and yeah, I mean they're units. They really are.
They're good stuff.
Yeah, they're just plug in, and you're not going to beat a plug in being battery packed. There's just no way.
Yeah.
The cord is a absolute pain. It is, but I'm going to use it. But anything like slag or just a quick little cut off wheel, I'm using the rigid or flex. Flex is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They've got. I mean, I hate to say it, they got a lot more power than rigid, but. The rigids, the battery pack they come with, it's not that good. But I did a couple commercials with rigid at my shop. They came over there with the safety guy and all that. I don't know if you remember, that's when Edge did their, I guess, bigger giveaway with them. That's when I started working with them. And I mean, they're both really good. But yeah, I'm going to use whatever's free and take advantage of it. And They sent me some power tools like ratchets and impacts, stuff like that. So I didn't have any of that until they sent that. So I'm pretty stoked about it.
And is Flex the company that has a flap disc that you can? There's like notches taken out.
I got them.
That's what I thought.
Are they worth it?
I'm scared. I haven't even used one, dude. I'm terrified of them things because I know it's gonna grab. I know it is. There's no way it's not.
Here's the deal, dude. In Chicago is like, they said it wasn't out yet at their booth, so I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I'm gonna try to fuck some shit up, and I'm like, they had like a piece of I-beam, like I'm grinding on it horizontally, and then I'm boom, 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 and I couldn't get it caught. It wouldn't kick. Yeah, I couldn't get it caught. But the thing for me is like,
I'll try it.
You're taking away like 60% of the original flap disc. So, I mean, that's a downside.
Have you seen their cutoff wheels?
I haven't.
They are the thinnest cutoff wheels I've ever seen, dude. I'm talking half of whatever you're using. That's how thin these things. I mean, you can bend them with your hand. It's sketch.
I don't like cutoff wheels as it is. I don't know why we'd make them any thinner.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, I love cutoff wheels. I don't have them blow up. What the problem is, everybody goes digging in there and then they turn it or something like that. And it snaps it. There's this girl in my class. I mean, dude, she had to have went through like 8 of them, taking a fender off of a trailer one time. I mean, just bam, bam.
Yeah.
I was 10 foot away from her, dude. I'm not getting near that. That's a dangerous.
It's definitely an art running them cutoff discs. Once you get good at it, it's freaking nice because you can do some good stuff with it.
Man, I mean, that's really all you got in the plasma cutters. I got one. I mean, I don't care how good you are with it. You're gonna have the slag on it. It's gonna be raggedy as hell. You're gonna have to go back with a grinder and clean all that up, man. Just let me go through like 5 cutoff wheels. It'll be straight as can be. I'll use them.
Well, we got about 40 minutes of good footage. Here's something we ask every guest before we end it. What is your favorite genre of music to listen to while you work or weld?
I don't know. I mean, you want to say country, but it just pisses me off when I'm working. So, dude, techno sometimes will get you in the mood, dude. Techno.
And your 89 F350, country ass kid from South Carolina.
In the 350, I'm listening to country music. When I got the ISO tunes on and nobody can hear me, hey, if it's a sad day, I'll throw some sad tunes in, man. I'll do it. That'll get you working, dude. Act like you just got in a breakup even though you've been with her for 8 years.
8 years?
I'll tell you right now, dude, you'll be working.
She's died like 12 times, but she's still here.
Yeah.
Well,
you'll be working. What do y'all listen to?
Country
and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Man, I can't do country because, I love country, don't get me wrong, but dude, I swear it's like Spotify won't let me listen to different country. It's like the same country every time I turn it on.
Dude, I'm like hand-picking my own songs. Yeah. I ain't letting the playlist do it because I spend more time skipping songs than I do listening to songs.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like I'm picking like 10 songs for the month.
Man,
and that's about it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so cheap. I'm not paying $13 or whatever it is. So I'm hearing ads back to back to back. You tired of listening to the ads? Yeah, I am.
To be honest, fucking am.
And that free 30 minutes of enjoyment, dude, it feels like 5. I'm tired of that crap. All right?
Maybe we get you a Spotify sponsor through this episode.
That would be nice, dude. That would be nice.
We appreciate you coming on, Harrison. What's your social media handles? We'll put all the links down below, but for the people that don't want to look,
So Instagram is Harrison_Stone, and then the business is A&H Welding Services.
All right. We appreciate you coming on. We got the Edge Welding Cups link below in the description, code BRINWELDS15. Everlast link in the description for the upgraded Nova Torch and foot pedal if you order through that link. And Andrew?
And for all custom leather goods needs, head on over to southernleatherworks.net and let's get you hooked up with a custom welding hood. Mr. Harrison Stone, we appreciate you coming on today, taking the time with us this morning to film an awesome episode, and we look forward to seeing you at FabTech.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, guys.